I came to this place at the request of a tribe member. They wanted a rock drake that can only be found miles underground in the ruins of a lost city, overrun by monsters filled with radiation that would melt the skin off anything not built for it. The only way to tame one is by stealing an egg from the depths of a pit no civilized life should ever enter. Even so, as the tribe leader, there is nothing I cannot or will not do for a tribe member. So I prepare. I grab our best hazmat suit and Spidiganaga, a giant spider standing about 7 feet tall, just over 2 meters, for safe travel. His predator vision and agility will be what I need to get in and out of the radiation zone as fast as possible. Then I head into lands I've never been before, with only a map, an idea, and a really bad idea. I travel to the aberration of a broken world filled with radiation melting the earth on the surface, and below it, the land of abominations and lost technology. Aberration is a land built in 4 layers. The surface, where the sun is so hot it will melt any structure and turn the land into a molten wasteland by day. And at night, the hot rocks keep the surface warm enough for the abominations to come out. Just below the surface is a green tropical mushroom forest, illuminated by the melted glass crystals from the sun. At night, the light is still present from the heat of those crystals, just enough to keep the nocturnal abominations away. I don't have time to contemplate how such a Goldilocks ecosystem could exist on a planet this apocalyptic. I have to stay true to the mission, steal a clutch of rock drake eggs. I know enough about the map that on a ceiling there is a metal track that starts from the green mushroom forest, runs through the blue nightshade forest, and drops into the dark radiated zone miles beneath, right next to the nests. I used the spider to climb up high, found the track, and went to the highest point of the subterranean tropical forest. I looked down, miles and miles straight down, through the blue and into the pink radiated molten core of this world, and I let go. I lost myself in the beauty of this world as I jumped and let gravity take over as I fell miles down into the pit of hell. I saw monstrous creatures in the dimly lit green forest fighting giant crabs at the border of the tropical blue, illuminated fungal jungle. The hazmat suit protected me from the poisonous blue spores. Being airborne in free fall, high above the ground, kept me safe from the dangerous wild creatures that would have dismantled and devoured me alive. Such a beautiful place with such monstrous creatures. As I descended past the glowing blue fungal zone, I entered a dark pink and red crystallized area. Everything down here is primordial. Dark, deformed creatures eating one another, with a molten pink lake beneath me that would destroy my suit and kill the spider if I touched it. Just before I fell too far, I used the spider's parachute ability to slow the terminal velocity, but keep the momentum for speed. That's when my spider started screeching. I realized it is not a creature that can withstand this radiation. When Bloodstalkers take enough damage, they lose control of themselves, fall into their basic instincts, and attack the closest thing nearby. In this case, that would be me. I was now on a hard time limit. My suit might survive a little longer down here, but Spidiganaga only had minutes. We had to leave as fast as possible, or I would become this thing's dinner, and he wouldn't have the mind or the ability to leave without me. Both of our lives were in my hands. I quickly used the Bloodstalker's ability to zipline, swing, bungee jump, and parachute through the radiated zones, keeping the speed high so we stayed undetected by all the mutated plants and abominations of life. Even if they spotted us, they were much too slow and far away to do anything but screech. Such a wretched life that your first instinct upon seeing movement is to attack. This place truly is hell, and I'm starting to like it. Within a minute, I found the yellow nests of the subterranean dragons. When I spotted a bright pink glowing egg, roughly the size of a watermelon, I knew I had to be fast. These creatures have such high levels of camouflage, they appear completely transparent. I couldn't see anything guarding the nest. I used the elastic ability of the spider's web to bungee jump down at full velocity, snatch the egg, and run. The moment I grabbed it, I heard the slamming of feet and the snapping of jaws big enough to swallow me and the spider whole. Just for fun, I unloaded my shotgun at the nest and saw a splatter of blood as the creature's camouflage wore off. It was right there on the nest, and I had snatched the egg literally from right in front of its face. This massive thing had to be about 40 feet long, with brightly colored feathers and a heavily scaled body, a contrasting mix of bird and crocodile. The confused, worried, and angry look on its face as I slingshot away will be burned into my memory. I was right in front of it and didn't even see it when I took its egg. As I ziplined away, I saw it take off like a rocket. For a second, I got scared and wondered if these things could fly, but then I realized they were just jumping from wall to wall. They have spring-loaded legs and a gliding system like a 7-ton elephant flying squirrel. If I survived a direct hit, and that's a big if, the spider's instincts would kick in and it would cannibalize me. We'd both be done for. I could hear these massive things flying through the air as they chased me from the nest. I made it to the main hole from where I had fallen. There were no walls for them to jump off of, and without that rocket jump ability, they are quite slow both at climbing and running. I desperately accelerated as fast as I could as the burning of the radiation started, melting through my suit, and the spider began screaming in pain. It couldn't take the radiation anymore. It started tearing through my suit. I could feel its teeth biting at the back of my neck as we quickly moved from the radiated zone into the blue fungal zone, the spider constantly tearing at me the whole way. Once we got back to the safe forest at the top, I threw the spider off my back and trapped it with a net launcher, so it couldn't attack me or anything else. Then I tended to its wounds and fed it a blood pack to soothe the pain until it finally stopped screaming. I only managed to get one egg this time, so I will return later to take the whole nest and bring a radioactive resistance formula, so he won't have to experience that again. Poor thing.